okay. What the fuck is you talking? Instagram was a gunshot for poison. I got the bad man, I'm not joking. I put you on, I be that poison be poking.
Hey, what's up guys, it's me the Great What If back from the video, and this is what if Deku had Bond's powers. Now, I'm really sorry to those who didn't have a chance to watch part 2 of What If Deku Had an Angel Girlfriend. I'm working on that, alright. I accidentally deleted it without knowing, alright. It didn't show the thumbnail. Part of it was cut out, the name, you know, the whole title, everything of what that was. It was cut out. I didn't know what that was. I actually thought it was a video from the past that I was trying to upload because it says error, cannot upload. So I thought, hey, I should probably delete it since it's not going to upload, or probably a video that I already uploaded. So hey, I deleted it. Fucking mistake. It was actually part 2, so I'm so fucking pissed. Alright, I would scream on top of my lungs if I wanted right now, but it's around 3 a.m. in the morning, and I know for a fact my parents would just beat the shit out of me, right? So yeah. Again, I'm sorry. I'll probably upload part 2 and 3 into one video and make it an hour long. That I will try to make. No, actually, I will gonna make it an hour long. I'm not gonna try, I will make it an hour long. And yeah, again, I'm sorry to those who didn't have a chance to watch it. I will be uploading very soon. I'm not exactly sure. My best bet, I don't want to say tomorrow because it's probably going to have a party in my house sooner or later. And yeah, I don't really want you guys staying up so late just for me to upload a video that's probably going to be an hour long or so. So I'm going to keep you on the date, tell you in the community when I'm going to upload it. And then yeah, I'm going to go further, more and more, yada yada yada. There. Probably ranted on too much, but hey, that's how I am. Again, thank you guys so much for 7K. I love you all to death. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Like if you like it, dislike it in your channel. Welcome. And every subscriber heals my depression at this point. It's slowly killing me, but every time you subscribe, it makes me very happy, and I don't fall to that pit of death. Anyways, enough of my dark humor. Let's get right into this what if. So we're gonna start right back to Izuku, who's laying on the ground. Now, my man's here is on the ground, half naked, with shredded pants and no shirt. Now, his chest is robust. I mean, like, if I can make the expression, you know that, right? What's called emo, where the guy just bites on his lip. Yeah, if I had to say or demonstrate that, I would be doing it right now, but as Melissa would just say to Zuko, saying, what do you want in return for saving me? And Izuku just chuckles, saying, anything? And Melissa felt a tingling sensation on her spine, like she said something as she should have explained it better, per se. Or just put a little bit of a cap on her limitations on the word anything, per se. It's just a small detail. She just says, well, do anything to me. As Izuku would just look at her stringy eyes and says, so, you say that I can do anything? I can have whatever I want? And she responds saying, nervously, saying, yeah? And Izuku, smiling, says, alright, Cupcake. What do I want? Okay, first, could you please get off of me? And Melissa says, okay, I'm sorry though. As in, she tries to get off of Izuku, and Izuku took this chance and swiftly got behind Melissa and pins her towards the wall. I mean, this shit is almost like he used zero sight at this point. He stopped time and everything, and Izuku, how do I say this without getting demonetized? I don't know what to say. I don't even care anymore at this point. As Izuku would pin Melissa towards the wall, she will scream a little yelp, and Izuku would grab her hands and pin it towards the wall, putting his knee between her legs, and says, "So, you shouldn't really say that when you tell a person you will give him anything that he wants." And she begins to, well, let's just say, get an uneasy, a little bit uneasy for her. As Izuku would get closer to her face, lips distance away, and both of them are just looking at each other in the eyes. And Melissa could see the crimson, cat-like feline eyes of Izuku. And she started to blush heavily. I mean, this man has a six-pack, half naked, shredded pants, and just close to you, to the point that you can feel their heat emanating. And to the point where she feels like she's gonna pass out. And Izuku looks towards her face and notices that she has a little bit of a nosebleed and says, "Are you alright?" And she just notices the nosebleed and says, "I'm sorry, And Izuku just backs off a little bit, saying, "Oh, you're a pervert. I see." And she just responds saying, "No, I'm not a pervert." And Izuku says, "Well, your nosebleed says otherwise." And she just says, Or Izuku looks straight at her and says, "Is it because I'm too, well, hot?" And Melissa just looks away from Izuku in utter embarrassment. And Izuku took this chance and says, "Well, what do you want me to do?" As then she would just say, "Huh? What do you mean?" And Izuku will respond saying, "Well, you did say I can do, or I can have whatever I want. So, what will you do if I said I want you? For myself." And then she just passed out, thinking that Izuku would just rush in and kiss her. She just passes out right there and then. And Izuku was a little bit worried, saying, "Are you alright? Wake up? As then doctors would rush in saying, we had a notification of the flatline. Is everything alright?" As then Izuku would just look at them saying, she needs help. As then he would just point towards her and she's just on the ground, just at this point, her eyes would just be like swirling. With that animation, like swirling eyes and everything, her nose is still bleeding. And they just say, "What happened to her?" And Izuku just says, "Well, she couldn't really get enough of me. Anyways, take care of her. I probably overstayed my welcome here. See ya." As in, he would just put his hands behind his head and just walk off. As in, he would just look and see other doctors coming in as well, saying, I wonder if they were going after me, since I did rip off all those things. Whatever, I should probably get home. Did I overstay? I think I was supposed to get on a plane yesterday. Damn it. Do I have to stay a little bit longer? I wonder if Bakugo's still here. That damn dog better be here. As in, he would just go up a floor and just try to find Bakugo. He'll call out his name a bunch of times, and Bakugo wouldn't really respond. As then, he would just yell out, "Oi! Gordon Ramsay ripoff! Get your ass over here!" As then, he would just hear a scream saying, "The fuck you're calling Gordon Ramsay, you little dickhead." And Izuku would just look towards the direction where this came from and says, "Oh, so there you are. And Bakugo would just emerge out of his room and says, "So, you finally came out of the hospital, or nurse office, per se." And Izuku responds saying, "Yep, are you ready to go?" And Bakugo says, "Yeah, but the plane left yesterday. I mean, I had to stay overnight a little bit more, so we probably have to wait. Probably tomorrow? I don't know. We missed our flight, thanks to you." And Izuku would get close to Bakugo saying, and grabs his shirt and pulls him in and says, "Look, I fell from a 200-story building. What do you think will happen to me? If I haven't taken their strength, my whole body would have been dismembered and splattered all the way to the concrete. And Melissa would already be dead. Look, I'm sorry they had to stay another night or so, but hey, at least appreciate it. I almost, well, I can't say die, but my body was very in severe pain." And Bakugo would just punch Izuku right in the stomach, saying, "Huh, severe pain my ass. If you can survive from a 200-story building, then my punch should be nothing towards you." And Izuku would just hold his stomach, saying, "Ugh, you bitch. I guess since we have to talk to Mr. Shield to find a way back home. I mean, your mom's probably worried about you, isn't she?" As then Baku would just look away, saying, "Nah, she isn't." And Izuku would respond saying, "Why isn't she? I mean, I think I got a couple of calls from my mom saying where I was. Why isn't your mom worried about you?" And Baku would just respond saying, "Terrible parenting? I don't know. Come on, let's go talk to Mr. Shield." And Izuku just responds saying, alright, that's fine. Let's go." As in, they will go out and call for Mr. Shield. Mr. Shield would be in his office, as Izuku and Bakugo would just walk in saying, "Oi, Mr. Shield. We missed a plane yesterday, so could you get us, somehow get us back to Japan, or whatever?" As then Mr. Shield would just say, "Sure, I can schedule a plane for you tomorrow." And Izuku would respond saying, "Is there any way for you can get me to, well, Japan today, if you can?" Then Mr. Shield responds saying, "Would you like to swim?" And Izuku responds saying, "Are you patronizing me, sir? I mean, are you trying to start something? I'm asking for a faster way to get home. I mean, I saved your daughter, for God's sakes. I mean, at least you could show some credibility or, like, praise me for something." And the Mr. Shield just looks straight at Izuku saying, "You tackled my daughter out of a 200-story building. How do you think I feel? I mean, couldn't you just, like, grab her and just pull her away and just take down the villain with you? I mean, like, was it really necessary to bring her down with the villain and you?" And Izuku would just scratch behind his ear saying, I don't know. As in, Mr. Shield would just pound on his desk saying, "You almost killed my daughter." And Izuku responds saying, "Well, she isn't dead, isn't she?" And Mr. Shield just responds saying, "Do you have any idea how a father will ever feel towards his son or daughter dying? Like, you have a father, right? Isn't he worried about you?" And Bakugo would just say, "Ooh, low blow. I should probably leave before he kills you. Yeah, I'm a dip. See ya, Zuko. Tell me if there's any good news after the whole, massacre." As in, he would just leave Mr. Shield's office, as Izuku would just walk towards Mr. Shield. And Shield, well, he could feel this immense aura, like death is just knocking on his door and saying, "Sir, you fucked up." Like, even death is scared of him, bro. Like, you fucked up. As Izuku would just put his hands on his desk and says, I don't think my family has to be, intertwined with our conversation, Mr. Shield. So I think you should put your little antics and throw it out the window, alright? Why did you put my father into this? I barely know him. Actually, I don't know him. Not even a little bit. Just know his name. That's all. So could you keep that small little word or term out of your vocabulary, alright? Now, if there's any way that you can get us home a little bit faster, it'll be very much appreciated, Doc. Or someone might accidentally fall off a rooftop and sadly die. What do you think will happen? Besides, do you really think I wanted this whole thing to happen, huh? Like, why did these people literally go to your so-called high security place? Like, don't you have any guards in this goddamn place? I mean, like, you're this whole corporation on making support gear and whatnot, and yet you got a couple of people with guns infiltrating in your place. I mean, the embarrassment in your company is just unfathomable. All right, so keep whatever nonsense that you're gonna spit out next and keep it to yourself. All right, your security is literally trash. I mean, a baby could guard a place better than your little antics of so-called security guards. So much for high-tech security. So it's a pain. I mean, you literally got me and a couple people endangered. And you're gonna put the blame on me? Just because I almost endangered your daughter? Look, all I want to do is go home, rest up, and go to school. That's really all I wanted to do. Alright? As then Mr. Shield would just say, alright, I'm sorry. Izuku would just walk out the room saying, don't be. Besides, I'd rather swim to stay in another so-called security place. So yeah. As then he would just walk out and close the door behind him. As then Mr. Shield would just take a heavy breather and just says, oh God. I thought I died. Holy shit. I should really watch my mouth. I mean, I guess I could get a plane here early. Fine, I'll get it. As in, he would just grab his phone, call up someone, and he would just turn it off. As in, Izuku would just be in a lounge, just half naked still. Alright, he hasn't put on a t-shirt or anything. And Bakugo will come out saying, Izuku, you realize that you're not wearing a shirt and your pants are shredded. Like, don't you have any extra clothing? And Izuku responds saying, not really. I mean, I wanted to stay here for at least a week, so I brought little clothing. I literally brought 2 clothes. That's all. My tuxedo and just another shirt. And that shirt got, well, you can see the aftermath. As Bakugo would just say, oh, I guess I can just lend you a couple of my shirts. And Izuku would just look at him saying, look, I don't want your reek of smell all over me. Alright? You can keep your sweaty shirt to yourself. Alright? I know for a fact you sweat a lot. So, no thank you. And Bakugo would just yell at him saying, whatever. This is the last time I'm ever gonna do something good for you. Whatever. As in, Izuku would just lay down on the couch and just maybe just get some shut-eye. Maybe everything would, be alright. As he was about to close his eyes, Melissa comes out and says, Izuku, there you are. And Izuku just gets up saying, Melissa, nice to see you. And Melissa would just say, "So, you talked to my dad?" And Izuku responds saying, "Yeah, I talked to him. I'm just tired." And Melissa would just put her hand on Izuku's shoulder saying, "It's alright. It was stressful, okay? It got me shook up as well. I was so nervous to sleep." And Izuku responds saying, "Yeah. I'm sorry. I literally tackled you off a 200-story building. That was my bad." And she responds saying, "Well, you act more than you think, right? Act first, think second, mostly." And Izuku just smiles saying, "Yeah, you're right. I should probably think first before I act. I'm sorry again." And Melissa says, "Don't be. At least you took down the villain." And Izuku responds saying, "Yeah, it was, well, a thrill, actually. And I actually killed someone. I forgot." And Melissa says, "Yeah, you did, and he did not survive. Yeah, he definitely did not survive." I mean, we're both shook up, at least. And Izuku responds saying, "Yeah. Not proud of myself, though. I killed someone, and I'm surprised I'm not in handcuffs." And Melissa responds saying, "Well, I informed the police that you just acted in self-defense. I mean, who wouldn't?" And Izuku responds saying, "Yeah, self-defense. Was it a mistake to come here? I mean, was my recklessness part of people getting hurt or something? I mean..." And Melissa just looks at Zuko saying, "Don't be. I mean, you saved people as well. I heard that if you haven't shot that guy, 2 people could have died. And one of them was a child. So I think in my part, you did a good job. Sure, you might doubt yourself a little, but in my book, you did a hero's job. And I'm proud of you." As Zuko would just a little bit blush and says, and just look away and says, "Thanks, I guess. Oh, remember when you said you're gonna do anything for me?" And Melissa would just blush again and remembers the time that she passed that went all and says, "Yeah. Could you give me a new shirt and pants as well? I didn't bring much of a spare with me." And she responds saying, "Oh, I guess I could get that for you. Come, I think I have some spare clothing in my dad's room or something. Something that he usually doesn't wear anymore." And Zuko responds saying, "Sweet, your dad." As in, both of them would head towards his bedroom, and Melissa would just look through his clothing. And Zuko would just see different types of clothing that, well, he didn't really much like. Until he looks in the corner of his eye, something very peculiar. A red letters jacket or some sort. He doesn't really know what it is, but it looks cool. Along with it, some leather pants. As then Izuku will respond to Melissa saying, "Could I try this on?" And Melissa says, "Yeah, sure. I don't think you'll mind." And Izuku says, "Sweet." He'll go on to a changing room nearby and changes, wearing this whole uniform. As then Melissa would just look at Izuku saying, "Why would my dad have that?" And Izuku just, well, how do I say it? I had it in my head. Shrugs it off and says, "I don't know. Your dad was a A 90s fan, I guess? I'm not really much sure. As Melissa will respond saying, I don't think my dad's a 90s fan. Well, I'm not really much sure. I don't really look into his stuff that much. As in, Izuku will walk back to the place where he grabbed the outfit and said, oh, what is this? As in, a huge pole will come out, and Izuku will look at it. As in, the pole breaks into 4 sections. And Izuku is surprised as the chains will just fall out, and says, huh, a 4-section staff. Nice. Your dad has good taste. Was he a martial artist? I mean, your dad doesn't look that fit to me. As in, Melissa would just respond saying, no, I don't think so. I mean, I don't really know much about him back in his past, but I guess it has something related to this. As Izuku would swing it around and it would, well, how do I say it? I wouldn't say dislocate, but the chains will come out and Izuku would just wrap it around his body, moving it from side to side, causing a huge wind around Melissa's dad's, well, her dad's room. As in, Izuku would just smile, saying, I like it. I never actually practiced with this before. I mean, I practiced with many weapons, but this one is actually my preferred favorite. Melissa, would your dad get mad if I took this? As in, Melissa will respond saying, I'm not sure. I guess you could go ask him. And Izuku just smiles saying, yeah, I guess so. Wanna come with me? Yeah. I don't really want to speak to your dad by myself before things get a little bit heated. As in, Melissa would, look confused, saying, what happened? And Izuku will respond saying, not really much. So, do you want to or not? As in, she will respond saying, yeah, of course, let's go. As both of them would head towards her father's office and see that he's talking to someone else in his phone. As in, Mr. Shield will notice both of them are inside his office and turns off his phone. He'll turn his chair around and he will just look at both of them saying, why is he wearing that? As in, he would point at Izuku's outfit, and Izuku just looks at his outfit again and says, well, I think it's cool. And Melissa responds saying, well, Izuku didn't really have much else, spare clothing, so I thought, hey, I should rummage into your old, clothing. I mean, you don't really wear it that much, so I picked this one out. Well, Izuku picked it out. He kinda likes it. And Izuku says, yeah, if you wouldn't mind, could I keep this? I could give it back if you want it. As in, Mr. Shield will respond saying, nah, keep it. It was an old thing anyways. As in, Izuku says, sweet. As in, Mr. Shield will look at Izuku's hand and notices that the, 4-section staff. And says, that was actually my old weapon. And Izuku will look at it saying, you used to use this? And he will respond saying, well, not really. I mean, it was a prototype. I was trying to make something around with it. Trying to make it infinitely, how do I say this? Go to places. Grab something. How do I say this? Just do basically overpowered shit. As in, Izuku says, wow, does this still work or not? I mean, it seems a little rusty. As in, Mr. Shield will respond saying, yeah, it's been in there for a long time. If you want, you can keep it. I have other things to do as well. As in, Izuku says, alright, I guess I'll, take care of it. As in, Mr. Shield will respond saying, well, the plane should be out in 5 minutes or so you should get yourself ready. As in, Izuku will respond saying, I thought the plane was, supposed to come tomorrow. And Mr. Shield just says, well, I did the best I can, alright? So you should be thankful. And Melissa seems a little bit sad that Izuku has to leave so early. I mean, he has been here for a week, and Melissa saw a lot about Izuku. Melissa would have a little flashback of her just looking at Izuku when he's bench pressing 200 pounds. Alright, my man does not play around. And he does 100 bench presses, going over 1,000, and she's just watching in the corner, and Izuku's just sweating, and she gets a little, well, Niagara Falls. Alright, that's what I'm gonna say. As she ends her little flashback, and Izuku says, thanks, old man. See you later, I guess. I should probably get Bakugo. And as he leaves and, well, calls out for Bakugo, both of them get their things ready, and they just, well, as they're about to board in the plane, Melissa says, is there any way I could, talk to you? As in, Izuku would just turn around and look at her and smile, saying, sure. As in, he walks down the stairs, grabs a piece of paper, and grabs a pen and just writes it down, gives her the paper, and says, call me whenever you feel lonely, darling. As in, he would just wink at her. And she's, well, blushing heavily. As in, Izuku would get on the plane, and just Bakugo's just snickering, saying, so you love her, huh? And Izuku just looked at him, saying, I mean, I kinda. I'm not really much sure. I mean, she does look cute and all, but I didn't really much get to know her. And Bakugo's just nudging at Izuku, saying, so you do like her. I always knew that you were always, well, flirty with blondies. And Izuku just looked at him, saying, where's your girlfriend? Where's that girl that you're gonna pursue? Oh, are you into boys? And Bakugo just grants on, saying, what the hell? How? And Izuku just smiles, saying, I'm just playing, as he just giggles. And Bakugo's just mad, just stomping his foot against the floor, causing turbulence. My boy's causing turbulence. As they finally head home. Now, this is where I ended up, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I will be making What If Deku Had an Angel Girlfriend Part 2 and 3 into one video. Hopefully I can make that into an hour. Well, I'm gonna do it into an hour or so. So yeah, you guys don't have to worry about that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like if you like it. This is like a new channel. Welcome and goodbye.